episode 3, Open House. So much happened in this episode. Walt and Skyler finally buys the car wash.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of Marie in this episode.
Yeah, there is a lot of Marie. Yeah, especially when she goes, she kind of cons her way into these open houses.
Yeah. But yeah. So we see Marie. Well, actually, at first we see Skyler and Walt. And
Yeah.
Skyler, she is overprotective. She's like, hey, she saw the bruised eye, the black eye, and she's like, hey, call the police, tell them everything, we can get in. And Walt's like, no, I'm not in danger. It was just a bar fight.
Yeah.
It was interesting how quick Skyler jumped to calling the police.
Yeah, it was. Well, the first thing we saw was Walt in the lab. He's
That's
getting
right.
he's getting his coffee from the coffee machine that Gale created.
Yeah.
And as he's there, he looks up, notices a camera.
Mm-hmm.
He almost says, he's about to say son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Now, according to the commentary, they didn't really want a whole lot of swearing going on for some reason, because it was on TV. It was on AMC.
Yeah.
But they did let Bryan Cranston do this at the camera.
The finger, the bird. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, I would. If some dude was like, monitoring me through a camera, I would flip him off.
Yeah.
I'd be mad too. But yeah, you see Gus, he's monitoring Walt and Jesse now. And he has he's got a good reason why Walt wants to kill him. And I think Gus knows that Jesse is probably taking some of the meth. So that's another reason why he wants to monitor them.
Yeah, I think so. I think that is a reason why he wants to keep an eye on them, to make sure that everything's on the up and up. Make sure there's nothing.
Because on the last episode, they had Tyrus reweigh the box of meth. So Gus is at this point, he does not trust Walt. He does not trust Jesse. So he's taking precautions. He's taking precautions. Then he
wants to make sure.
Go ahead.
He wants to make sure that nothing untoward is going on. I mean, and can you blame him? I mean, he believes that. Gus is what you might call paranoid at this point. Yeah. Hey, Ellen.
Ellen's on.
How are you guys?
Good.
We're good. We're good.
We're talking about Gus and his monitoring Walt and Jesse with the camera.
And I was mentioning that it's because of his paranoia. It's because of Gus's paranoia.
Yeah. Who's Gus's paranoia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Gus is he's right. Walt is a threat.
Yeah.
He already brought a gun to work, Yeah. He tried to talk Mike into it. That's why he's got a black eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Gus is being duly cautious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think Walt at this point is kind of unsteady, like he's still recovering from the blow, because it's about not just not being able to get access to Gus, but Mike not being on his side. Now the cameras.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't know what to do, where he stands now.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And there was that great moment where he flips off the camera.
Yeah.
Which is great. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
before that, he's getting coffee. He's actually in a pretty good mood.
Yeah, he is.
I guess I think he feels some job security right now. Which, as we recall, Jesse was the one to rationalize that. Like, how long do you think it took to find Gale? Probably a really long time. Anyway, and then he pauses and remembers that's Gale. Gale's coffee doohickey. I don't know what that. It's like a coffee distillation process or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And a little twinge of guilt there in his face.
Yeah.
Regret.
Yeah.
You know.
And I mean, I think on one of the that some of them got coffee from that machine, said it was probably the best cup of coffee they'd ever had.
Oh yeah, it's a real machine.
Yeah.
I want to get coffee from the machine. I want to try and make an exact replica of that.
Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be awesome.
That would be cool.
I'm okay with my coffee maker and my reusable to-go cup. I'm such a good girl. Never leave home without my coffee, ever.
So after that, we jump into Skyler, and she's all worked up. You know, she sees the black eye on Walt. She's like, let's call the cops, turn yourself in, because she thinks he's in danger.
Mm-hmm.
And he
She
kind of
knows
is.
he's in danger.
And Walt is in
She
danger.
suspects strongly, with
Yeah.
good reason, that he is in danger.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do you think she overreacted?
No, she's just... Skylar's careful. She's careful about everything. And she's in this to manage things, keep them under control, keep the secret, ride it out. And...
Yeah, she is. And she's still calling the car wash and trying to buy the car wash.
So before that, when she's talking to Walt, it sounds naggy, but it comes from a very real worry.
Yeah.
This is not her just taking out her crap on Walt with the nearest, grievance. It's for real. And promise me that you will let me know if you're in danger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
he's like,
even though they're
Go ahead.
separated, even though they're separated, she still cares about him.
Yeah.
In the commentary, somebody called it Olympic-style backpedaling on Walt's part in that scene in the apartment, and that he was kind of childish, and it was really clear that Walt, and then, as if to prove it all, Walt goes from, I don't have time to deal with a car wash, to, let's go do that car wash thing. Let's placate Skyler. Look, Skyler, it is so not a problem. There is no danger, and I am free to go car wash shopping with you.
Yeah.
He does everything he can to downplay. My boss slit, a guy's throat right in front of us, but no, everything's good. I mean, you can't say that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. One thing that was interesting was, I mean, Skyler was still attempting to buy the car wash from Bogdan. The conventional ways to do it weren't working, so she sees the matchbox with Saul Goodman's number on it.
Yeah.
And better call Saul, and she does. And they get
still a real number, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can call it and get the voicemail, I think.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah,
Really
you
cool.
get a pre-recorded message. Yeah. So they hire one of Saul's cleanup guys. Yeah.
Oh, Kirby.
Played by Kirby.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Kirby.
that was Kirby.
Kirby.
That was
No R, I
Kirby.
don't think. Kubi. Bill
Yeah,
Burr from
Bill Burr.
Boston.
Bill Burr.
He brings the Boston accent. He brings the masshole attitude. Shout out
Yeah,
there.
Kobe and Huel. Those are the two cleanup guys for Saul.
Although Hill's making more of a mess than cleaning up in this episode, but this is some serious stuff is going on in this episode, but You feel like this one is mostly comedy?
It's more Marie.
It's not
It
just
is.
Marie,
It
though.
is.
Marie.
Marie's comical for sure. She's got stuff going
Yeah.
on. But, I mean, that whole exchange about buying this car wash with
Oh, that was
Saul
hilarious. That's a great
and
scene.
Huel, trying to hold it in and IBS and whatever. And then when Saul turns around, he's like, we're worried. Skyler's like, professionalism. She's
Uh,
one up in this businesswoman thing on both of them. And both of them are smart
uh,
guys. But
Mhm.
she is one up all the way. And
Yeah.
she's right sometimes, and she expresses it, and Walt says, no, 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 no. And she accepts that and moves on. And that's what she's doing in this one.
Well, the ideas that Saul was giving them. Hey, Bogdan, he's kind of a terrorist.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
oh, he's got some illegals working with him,
Yeah.
and tax fraud or something.
Right.
So these, absurd ideas that Saul is, bringing out there, Skyler, she's there to shoot him down and straighten him out,
Well,
basically.
it's actually, under some circumstances, some of it could work.
Yeah.
People will go after any angle if they can. But it's just that Skylar has some principles in her criminality right now.
Yeah.
She's not going to punish poor people. Plus, she's not going to set themselves up for, you know, like the tax fraud thing.
Hmm.
And, just because Bogdan has brown skin doesn't mean he's an Arab Muslim. He's like from Romania or something.
Exactly.
yeah,
So,
he is.
and, without hurting anybody or threatening bodily harm.
Hmm.
And Saul's like, really? I don't think he's used to clients who have some morals to this.
Hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I want this accomplished, but and then when she comes up with the idea and how she does, you know, how the mundane housewife stuff gets her brain churning, and she's thinking of wastewater,
Hmm.
and then boom, you get Kubi talking to Bogdan in the field.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And that great scene, you see Skylar watching all this, and she's got little Holly in the back.
Is she watching?
Yeah.
Because I thought
She's on
Yeah.
the phone watching.
she's watching. Okay, I always knew she was on the phone, but okay.
Because
And
she's on the
Yeah,
phone.
well
yeah.
read.
She's got all
Because they
those
got the
books.
shot of. Uh-huh.
Go ahead. Yeah.
They got that shot of. They got that shot of Holly, the little baby. You know, they
Yeah,
showed that shot of Holly.
that thing was so freaking cute. Just sitting there looking, and that was it. Those big eyes on that baby, my God.
Oh yeah.
Something that nothing beats the Ozymandias Holly though.
Yeah,
That was epic.
it was.
Later
Oh,
for that.
I know. Yeah, but that's season 5. Yeah, that's gonna be season
And we're
5.
close
That's
to season 5 too. So,
yeah.
but yeah, Marie. So going
Oh,
to
you see
Marie.
Marie conning her way into these open houses.
Yeah, I mean, she's got all these stories. I don't know if she's like bipolar, or is this the story that she would like to, see herself as?
Her
Um,
explanation, Betsy's explanation, is that this is some of these things, like she fantasizes about being somebody else,
mhm.
in times of stress
Yeah.
especially, and this is one of those times. And to act it out is a real one of her mechanisms for dealing with what's going on with Hank, because he's not easy to deal with.
Mhm.
But she wants to really take care of him and make sure that he gets well.
Yeah.
And she's glad he's alive, but she can't handle this. And it's not an excuse, obviously, but it's really, it is insane. It's so silly. I mean, before she leaves.
And you know, they
Good.
have this argument over Cheetos. It's like, you know, she brought in Fritos. He's like, no, Cheetos, the ch sound.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, those are the things. She's like, really, all the stuff I do for you, and rawr, you know, it is kind of.
She needs to find a way to escape all of that, and that's what her kleptomaniaism is in a way to escape all of Hank's bullshit.
And have all this, and it's not just stealing; it's the fun in the process. It's the making up different identities and lives.
It's exciting to her. It's a thrill.
Yeah. And she has to have these souvenirs. I mean, I can't believe she took that photo of that nice couple, that nice older couple, because what, the frame was nice?
She's going to use that photo and say that was her grandparents that passed away or something.
Oh, I don't know. I think it was for the frame, the spoon. I mean, all these random things.
And she was going, and that one scene where she was going through the kitchen cabinets, and like she's like she owns the place.
Yeah, the refrigerator.
Exactly.
Like that's not necessary, you know. But before she even leaves the house, Hank's room, their room, to go out, they focus on that little figurine. It's like a boy and a pig or something.
The piggy. Yeah.
She stole that too.
Yeah, she did.
Too. Yeah. That's she was about to go on her klepto spree.
Mm-hmm. And Hank said it that she's done this before with the tiara, and probably even more of that we haven't even seen.
And you know, but she's still she's comedic about this, but she's also kind of tragic. It's so sad. And Betsy Brand talks about how she'll fight tooth and nail, like to the very end. You know, oh, I'm going to call the police on you, and I'm not going to press charges either. And and it's all about she just doesn't want to go home.
Mm-hmm.
And so going to these places, pretending she's somebody else.
Yeah.
It's is an escape.
Mm-hmm.
But she has to take a souvenir. Really. Oh, yeah.
And then when she breaks down at the police department.
That's it, right there. She doesn't want to go home.
Yeah.
If it hadn't been for Hank's buddy Tim, you know, she might have spent the night in jail.
I think she let the shame come in. She felt the shame. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think she probably wanted to spend the night in jail, just so she won't go home. And
I'm not sure about that.
Maybe. But I might be looking into it too deep. I don't know.
but Hank called in that favor to his buddy Tim. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, who's like the real nice guy who brings work to Hank, who's having a tantrum about his rice pudding like he's a 3-year-old.
And you know, they talked about on the commentary. They talked about the rice pudding. You know how it was almost like a character on the show.
The rice pudding.
Yeah.
And how many he ate?
It's like Hank loved his pudding.
Yeah, because he ends up eating it anyway.
And the funny thing is,
because you know what? She
it's,
walks out and says, "Don't eat it," then.
And the funny part about it is a Jello rice pudding, and I'm like, why didn't you? Yeah.
The whole word?
Yeah,
not
Jello.
obscured at all?
No.
They had to have had permission then.
But I'm like, you can use the Jello rice pudding, but you can't use Jello for the episode of Better Call Saul. I mean.
Oh yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
You had promotion right there.
That's interesting. Well, wait, what was the whole Jello in that episode about? I forget.
When Saul gets them Jello cups out to the old people, and it has his name on it.
Yeah, we'll call McGill. Yeah.
Maybe it came down to a good guy versus a bad guy. you know. I mean, it could be something. I mean, this is boardroom stuff, so you never know. It's personal opinion of a few people.
I mean, that's marketing right there, though. And Jello missed out.
Yeah, they sure did.
Sorry.
They sure did. Can you imagine a bunch of Jello cups, like special edition Jello cups that say "Need a will, call McGill" on the bottom?
Well, they at least have Better Call Saul on the bottom, you know.
Uh huh.
All right, but I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but basically you're selling Jello to older people, and they don't watch Breaking Bad. They're still trying to find Lawrence Welk on demand, and yeah, no. They're watching the shopping shows and Judge Judy and.
I watch Judge Judy.
Do you really?
That's great. She's awesome.
I could get sucked into that stuff, but I make a concerted effort not to. I just feel like, I don't know.
I just like how she goes off on people. It's funny.
Yeah, it's a long tradition.
Oh, I do too.
Judge Wapner. Yeah, used to watch that. The People's Court. Anyway.
But yeah.
Anyway, we're diverging way off.
Yeah, so Jesse's house is basically an open house. He has all these meth heads coming in there. So he went to the go-kart facility and tries, get his mind off of things.
Noise and motion.
Yeah.
Get out of it. Trying to stay out of it. Out of his own head still from last week.
Mm-hmm.
But how about that music that they play over the go-karts and then into the house when he gets back? That was some really haunting, kind of creepy. I love their musical choices.
Yeah. Have you listened to the whole song?
No, and I'm not sure I have.
Oh, you got to search it. It is a great song. It's called "If I Had a Heart" by Fever Ray, and it's really good.
Is it on Spotify?
It should be.
Oh, it probably is, or a Breaking Bad list. Yeah. I have those.
And he's throwing money. He's throwing money at the one guy that's on the floor. He finally gets one in his mouth. Gets a wad of cash in his mouth, in the guy's mouth.
And Jesse wants to talk to Walt. Jesse wants, I think.
Yeah.
What I'm catching here is Jesse wants Walt to explain what's been up.
Yeah.
Why the black eye?
Yeah.
Why the cameras? Clue me in.
Mm-hmm.
And Walt says, basically, no, he's not going to go out and have a beer or whatever, or go-karts. And so Jesse's like, all right, well, I'm just going to keep blocking out reality.
Yeah.
And seeing the thing with the wad, of cash reminded Shane and I of something. The wrestler, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, would stuff $100 bills in somebody's mouth after he beat him.
Yeah.
Who would do that?
Ted DiBiase, $1 Million Man.
You got to catch up on your wrestling.
$1 Million Man?
Yep.
No.
$1 Million
Man, Steve Austin, 70s.
No.
No, that was the $6 Million Man.
Oh.
We're talking about pro wrestling. We're talking about Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man.
Oh well, now you've really lost me now.
You gotta search.
Oh, okay.
The wrestling stuff, sorry.
You gotta search. Google search it.
But that brought it to mind when the guy got the wad of cash in his mouth. That's what brought it to mind.
I never would have known that connection, but maybe they did. Right? Did it precede this?
No.
Vince Gilligan might be a wrestling fan. We don't know.
Who knows?
Hey, maybe.
Or people he works with. I mean, because, that's part of having a team of writers is that everybody knows a little bit about something that somebody else doesn't. And, great mind.
And they try to incorporate that in the episode, in the show, which is fantastic. But yeah, Jesse's just going haywire with his money. He doesn't even care about the money. He's just giving it all away.
No, he's spending it to exist in the moment.
Yeah.
Until he's killed, is what he feels.
Because at the party, after like everybody's kind of half asleep, half awake, and you got the one guy talking about people getting shot and shit.
Oh, but the chain
the
link
one guy.
fence and the soft meat
the
or
Play-Doh stuff.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm looking.
This is inevitable.
This is a Walking Dead reference, maybe.
They are very zombie-like. They are, and this is the first time we've seen, that kind of thing at Jesse's house where it's been like operating on just brainstem activity, like Jesse dancing. He was very robotic.
Yeah, he was basically mosh pitting, really.
It was, yeah, and it's kind of like, if you're to believe that zombies exist, they operate on brainstem activity only. And the things that move your muscles and make you breathe, and that's there's no higher thinking whatsoever.
Yeah.
And that's what it looks like in that place with some of those people fighting and weird sex and scratching the shit out of each other and going after the wall and it's scary.
I was gonna say, and we've talked. I think we've talked about this before, that there are some elements of Breaking Bad that kind of showed up on Walking Dead. The blue meth.
Mm-hmm.
Daryl had some of it in the first season.
Merle.
The red car.
Merle.
The red car. Daryl talked about a guy who constantly called everybody bitch.
It could have been Jesse, but it was really the way he described that guy, conjured Jesse up big time. Really did.
Yeah.
I remember watching it for the first time. Oh my god, talking about Jesse, but yeah.
Have you heard about the theory
I thought
that Breaking Bad is like the prequel to The Walking Dead? And that the zombies is just the meth people that bought Walt's meth, and they turn into zombies.
Well, if you think about it, what if, for example, I mean, maybe it would never happen, but anything's possible in the world. What if the vast majority of people were addicted to meth, and it was plentiful, and you couldn't stop it, and everybody was walking around like that? Mm-hmm. Would it not be as scary as a zombie apocalypse, something that I don't even believe can happen? But I mean, really, it's kind of the same thing. It's the brain is messed up and whatever. But people, they talk about, the show glorifies drugs and meth. I'm like, no. And that kind of scene is an example, and we see more and more and more.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Tucker!
That's coming up, too. It's coming up.
That is, one of my favorite episodes. Anyway, go ahead. I'm talking too much.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. So, Sergeant Tim, comes back to Hank, gives him Gale's notebook.
Yeah, and they noticed one thing they said on the commentary is that the cover reminded them of a cover of an old Metallica album called Ride the Lightning.
The cover of
Gale's notebook.
Oh. Like the lightning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. And it looks just like something you'd pick up at, I don't know, Kmart. At, back to school time.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
But,
I mean, of course,
that reignites Hank's interest in the case.
Yeah.
He's back.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The single biggest obstacle in his recovery is now, overcome.
Yeah.
And this is where I think we've seen maybe the last of Marie's kleptomania. That's a spoiler, isn't it? Anyway,
That's all right.
it doesn't happen in the weeks to come. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and and of course, we're going to eventually see Hank delve into this more and more.
Yeah.
And we're going to actually see where he looks at the note that Gale writes to Walter WW. And in a future episode, Hank is that Willy Wonka, Walt Whitman,
Right.
Walter White, and Walt says, "You got me." Yeah.
In my
That's,
notes, Henry, that's interesting because in my notes, Henry, I have the whole champagne controversy. And
oh yes, the $320 champagne. Yeah.
After which she says, "Destroy the evidence." Like we might as well drink it now because it's here. And I thought, if she only knew all of the evidence that might need to be destroyed. And that reminds me of Walt Whitman for some reason.
And the champagne scene, you see a connection between Walt and Skyler that you haven't seen in a while. And that connection is because of Skyler's lie to get the car wash.
That they're working together now.
Yeah.
She'd be happy if he said, "I'm done." But he's not going to say that.
Mm-hmm.
So she's trying to keep it in a nice, secure bubble that can't be penetrated. And she's smart.
Mm-hmm.
And she is thorough and she is concerned. And she's not without, good reason. But she's in it. It's an actual criminal enterprise she's undertaking just to launder the money. And she's committed fraud where Bogdan's concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And by the way, one thing we find out on this episode, Bogdan's last name, Wally Nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
They mentioned that on the commentary. That everybody was going around saying Wally Nuts, Wally Nuts.
You can only see
Mr.
the
Wally Nuts.
Wally World. Yeah. But yeah, they said, like they're oddly attracted to this new person. I think Brian said that. Mm-hmm. Bryan Cranston. There's a new reality between them. But Sam Catlin, the writer of this episode, he's like, every time they get this close to being back together, instead of just being like business partners, co-parents, it's like something cuts that. And this time it was the champagne.
Yeah.
And, they talked about that Walt's a really, really smart person. But he approaches some of this business stuff more emotionally. And she is thinking of it really practically, in detail. And she's just trying to explain stuff to him.
And we'll see how much detail she puts in the next episode. Bullet points.
Yeah.
But it's not like, okay, Walt, you're making a lot of money. Let's really live it up.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, God, I wish you bought cheap champagne. She's not like, oh my God, we have all this much money, we could do this, yay. She's like, no. And in the overall picture, that's the kind of thing that to me makes me like, all right, Skyler broke bad, but there's things like motivation and sense of responsibility if something wrong happens.
Mm-hmm.
And
and she's pretty logical. She's pretty logical because she realizes, that she was the one who helped conjure up the gambling thing.
Yeah,
the gambling story
that made it a story without telling him. Yeah, that. Sorry.
And, you know, she mentions, hey, we're supposed to be broke here. We're supposed to be broke. You're supposed to be on unemployment. You're supposed to be getting your unemployment check. Remember, you know, we're taking donations from people here. So, you know, they've got to have their story straight. And that's why she got upset with him, because he's spending, you know, money that they're not supposed to have.
Yeah.
Right. We have a story. Now we need everything to look like that story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All the time. And you know, the whole thing about, you know, that negotiating with Bogdan, knocking the price down because of what she did to him. You know, it didn't make a difference. It was at $79,000, $89,000. All of a sudden, to this family, that's negligible. It doesn't matter. Just buy the freaking place. She's like, no. I mean, she's got an ego thing going, just like Walt right now, which is, you know what? This man is a jerk, and he's going to pay for that. But on the other hand, like she said, we got to look like we're trying to get a good deal.
Yeah.
For the story.
Yeah, and you know, Walt says, you know, nobody saw me buy the champagne. And she says, well, no, the salesperson saw you. And, you know, Walt just kind of shrugs it off like it's no big deal.
Yeah. And she compares them to Watergate and Nixon.
Yes.
Well, all she said was that a very minute detail, it was what opened that whole thing up. Or it was actually Forrest Gump seeing that somebody lost their power, calling it in. But no. But she was right. She said before, the devil is in the details. Not in this episode, but in other episodes. And she is thorough.
That broke the whole Watergate thing wide open.
Yep. Very, very tiny details. Like books.
Yes. You know, and, you know, that line, the devil is in the details, I mean, that kind of plays all throughout this season too. And all throughout the cover story, that they have to maintain their cover story. Both Walt and Skyler.
Yep.
And she's trying very hard to make sure they're on the same page. She's crossed over and said, all right, you're a meth dealer. You're a meth manufacturer, and you're going to be a meth manufacturer. Okay. So promise me you'll tell me if things go bad. She was like, we'll go to the police and say, you know what I mean? Because honestly, Walt kind of could cut a deal if he spend the rest of his life in prison only because he's got a terminal disease. But if he could he's not the big guy. Gus is the big guy.
Yeah.
If he were the one to give Gus to the DEA, you know, he'd definitely get whatever he wanted for lunch during his interrogation. So, yeah. But, just let us know you're safe and be careful. Here's what you gotta watch out for. It's not nagging. I think Skyler loves when things are easy, but this is complicated.
Well, to me, I think without Skyler, Walt would probably be dead somewhere.
Why? Dead already? Why?
I think so.
Because
at this point,
Walt needs somebody to keep him under control, and Skyler is the one that's keeping him under control.
As much as she can.
Yeah. She
doesn't control him. I mean, she hasn't since the first episode. He does what he wants to do every day. And it's only now that she's accepting it.
Of it. Control from the family. Because she's protective of her family. And yeah. So she's controlling him for the family's sake while he's doing what he wants to do. Henry, help me out. Henry, help me out, boy.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Yeah,
for an example.
I think
She's looking out for them and him.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is.
But
She really.
she doesn't even know about the whole Gus thing. She doesn't know about Gale. She doesn't know a lot. So, in all the ways that they almost died, I can't think of anything that Skyler saved the day so far, you know?
I mean,
Like, Tuco.
as smart as Walt is, I mean, in that particular business relationship, she's the brains. She's the brains of the outfit because she's keeping things straight. She's keeping it together. You know, Walt is kind of
to an extent, really.
Walt's kind of the loose cannon a little bit.
Yeah, it's like just because you're brilliant doesn't mean you're brilliant about everything. You know, and everybody has their own work and education experience, and Walt's experience is chemistry and teaching. And Skyler's got the bookkeeping background, and she's educated and she's smart, and she is very thorough in everything she does. And it turns out that's not a bad thing. I mean, it's not like OCD. It's not like she's checking the safe eventually when they have the car wash say, 1,000 times to make sure the combination is still the same or whatever. She just wants to make sure, because it's like a chain. One link, weak link, Yep. And I think Walt resists for two reasons. He resists good advice. One is the ego. I know what I'm doing. But the other is he doesn't want her to think, we better be really, really careful because this is really scary and real and huge.
Yeah, it is.
Downplay it.
And it's a real game of chess, and now it's going to develop into a real cat and mouse game between Walt and Hank, because Hank has renewed his interest in the case, and all of a sudden, Walt may not be aware of it just yet. At least he's not aware of it until he goes over to Hank and them's house.
Yeah.
And that's when Hank's got the notebook.
He went to Kmart.
He went to Kmart. Yeah, Gale went to Kmart.
Gale went to Kmart, picked up his notebook, write down meth. I mean, okay, first off, why would you get a notebook and write down all the meth and secrets and all that and not lock it up and punt it away or something? I mean...
well, Gale is in some ways like Walt. Like, really brilliant about the chemistry. Real life, not so much. They're both awkward. They're both dorky. Yeah. They're not street smart.
Some of the most brilliant people in the world in one aspect, they may be a bit absent-minded with other stuff. Or they may be a bit disorganized.
I mean, look.
Even a little bit eccentric.
Coffee, his meth making, his opera, his...
Major Tom.
That... What... I think was it a Mexican or a Spanish opera? I think it was definitely Spanish.
Yeah, it was something.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And what's his name? What's the actor's name? Early onset here. Anyway, oh my God, we're really bad for not coming up with his name.
For Gale?
Yeah.
David Constable.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always know it when somebody says it. Can't retrieve. But yeah, he had practiced that a lot. That was adorable. So he's got all these hobbies. He's got his plants. He's got his potato clocks. You know, he doesn't really have time to learn, uh, kung fu or.
He doesn't have the Jesse, so that Jesse can train him the street side of things.
But even Jesse,
Yeah.
the thing about Jesse is that when we meet him, he's one of those street criminals, and we just take him and for that and put him in that giant stereotype. But the first time a gun comes up into the conversation, we find out he's not all that street smart.
Yeah.
And he's not ready for big time. He's not even mastering small time yet.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason he didn't get arrested is because he fell out a window as he put his underwear on,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's not, and he's learning as time goes by because of Walt. Because Walt originally said, "You do this, or I turn you in."
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I think we've covered this episode pretty much. I don't think we missed anything.
All right. Well, you said the cat and mouse thing, so I can cross that off my list. I did this little notepad thing here. The director doesn't think Skyler is corrupted. Just gonna say that. Tim and Hank scene. I forgot to say who was talking about that in the extras, but that whole thing where Tim comes and brings the files to Hank, it's a real male ego thing going on, in the sense that Tim, being another male, recognizes that Hank's got this ego. He's on his ass in a bed, and how to put it as delicately as possible, and we really think we could use your help on this. That was very delicately handled and very well done. And I think it was Dee Norris who said it. No, somebody else said it about Hank. That he gets that call from Marie. You don't hear Marie.
Yeah.
You see Hank's face. Why are you doing this again? Why are you doing this to me? But they said that he's really in love. They're both in love, and these are the kinds of things that he has to deal with. But ultimately, she's the one that makes him happiest in life, and I thought that was sweet. It's always, those two. In fact, Betsy Brandt said that she likes being in the couple that is Hank, the fictional couple that is Hank, much prefers that over Walt and Skyler and what they deal with. She's like, none of that. And the only other little tidbit was that, if anybody was wondering, they scored that yellow purse of Marie's so that it would rip apart.
Yes.
In that really, really fun scene.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and that was cute too. Do you remember, Henry? Sounds like you watched the commentary.
Yeah.
That Betsy has to call that actress Fatty. And Betsy apologizes for it, and then somebody else talks to the actress and says, we figured that might set you off, and she's like, it sure as hell does, but that kind of thing. Look, apparently, like, Betsy Brandt had to apologize for doing this, and then as soon as she did that, then she was able to say it with reckless abandon, and then like really get into her character. So. But she's awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
she's She's in a show. Let's remind people here. She's in Life in Pieces. It's really funny show.
Yeah.
And Shane.
Yeah.
You were posting about Jessica Jones.
Oh yeah, Jessica Jones. Jane is in there.
It was trending on Twitter today. I assume it was dumped on Netflix last night or yesterday.
I think so. So,
Somebody's got a very important call.
it's Henry.
I was gonna pick up my phone and pretend to answer it, but I can't even find it. Did you watch any of it, Shane?
Not yet, but I heard it's really good. And Better Call Saul is coming back on February 15th.
I knew that they would make that coincide with The Walking Dead season coming back after a break.
Yeah.
Damn them. You know, are you guys down with starting a petition here that our seasons need to be seasons?
Well, Better Call Saul is going to be 13 episodes. They knocked it down to 10.
And unless there's a holiday.
Yes, it's 10. Yeah,
It was going to be 13, Henry.
And none of these waiting a year. God. Sorry.
We're waiting 3 months or whatever. Yeah, we've got Better Call Saul, X-Files, Gotham, Walking Dead.
Yeah, Walking Dead. We have 2 more episodes, and I feel like they're not even getting anywhere and slap. But anyway, the least of my shows, the best show has been still again Fargo, and which is really, it's great, but I want The Walking Dead to be doing it for me, and I'm getting mad here. I'm gonna get my baseball bat.
See, they're doing the same thing with Gotham. They're doing the same thing with Gotham that they're doing with The Walking Dead. You know, they're doing like a mid-season thing, then they're going to bring it back
they're doing it because of Christmas and everything.
Now, there's one thing. No, well, Christmas is one day. So,
and you got Thanksgiving.
And you got New Year's.
All that.
Yeah, but Thanksgiving is one day. So, okay, skip that week. Maybe skip 2 weeks of Christmas and New Year's. There's no excuse for the other weeks. You know, back in the day, Henry, you're not as old as me, but you're closer to my age than Shane is. You know?
I am.
TV shows came on every freaking week for, 9 months out of the year?
Yeah, they did.
Now...
yeah, you're right.
Now, I will give... you have to give leeway to those shows that do it cinematically. So, for instance, All in the Family is way easier to shoot than Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm.
Just big differences there. But a season should have at least 12 weeks, and it should be done all in one chunk except for holidays. And I want to start a petition because there's not enough, real problems in the world. So I thought we'd start tackling. No. Yeah, man. It's never going to happen. But Breaking Bad broke a season up. It was like a year apart, right, Shane?
It was pretty much.
I think it was over 11 months at least.
There was 16 episodes and they broke it down for 8?
8 and 8.
Yeah.
But a year.
Now, anyway. do they have those, all of them filmed? Or do they just have, the first 8 film and then...
Not necessarily, no. They don't. They don't necessarily.
So they had the whole season filmed, and they just broke it down?
No, not necessarily.
Well, how did they did it? Did they just film 8 and then took a break and then filmed the rest?
I think they took a break because 8 episodes for a show like that is a lot.
Yeah.
A normal season would be 12, 13.
Mm-hmm.
So it still is a lot. And they took a break and they went back, and I think I remember them saying where, and this is season 5 stuff, we get flash forward and then recreating a flash forward at some point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think they broke it up because it's not like what we see necessarily in, I don't know, like, say the Ozymandias may be the same as whatever. But they break. They break. You know, and you see them say that, all right, we've seen them filming, and you know they're filming that season that you're in, technically, but you're waiting a year for. But, all right, I'm going to stop because I'm sounding really, really whiny.
It's okay.
First world problems, big time.
So that's pretty much it for open house. You got final thoughts?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What I was going to say was, let's not forget about syndication. I mean, there's a lot of these shows get syndication deals.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm surprised Breaking Bad hasn't been put into syndication.
But you know, it's like The Walking Dead, Henry. Look at Carl. You know, when you take that much time to film, these kids, they grow up. You know, so you're like 8 years old, you know, in 1 year, and then all of a sudden, in 2 years, you're like 18. It's well, it's not that bad. It's a slight exaggeration, but even the actors change. Remember, this bugs me in Breaking Bad, and it's kind of a spoiler, but there is an episode in the future that does a flashback, and they actually have to create this flashback, act it out, shoot the whole thing, not take old footage. And somebody in that scene, namely Aaron Paul, didn't look the same at all. And I bought it because I love the show. But if I were more critical, I would have said fail.
Well, they get older over time, the cast. So
that's true.
So it's hard to recreate the same age unless you do a lot of makeup.
But I'm saying now you're doing a flashback. You're recreating a time, 5-6 years before this all started, and this character, this actor, has physically changed so much that it's everything. It's the shape of the face, it's the hair, it's the everything. But I don't know.
And Henry, you need 100 episodes before you can get syndication.
Really?
And we know that Breaking Bad didn't have 100 episodes.
Yeah. So.
No, 52, right?
60.
62?
62, yeah.
62.
Yeah, 62. Now, Walking Dead, though, is also Walking Dead is also shown on was it My Network TV? I think it is.
Oh, really?
They show the old reruns of it. Yeah, on My Network TV.
I don't know what that channel's called for me, but I don't have very much for TV channels. I pay $5 a month for TV, and that includes HBO. The internet is my friend, but I catch those reruns. I love. You know what? I actually watched a little Walking Dead before I went to bed on a work night, and early the next morning I was having Walking Dead nightmares. But do you guys know when you hit the snooze button and you try to get back to a dream you've been having because it's much better than getting up?
Yes.
I wanted to go back to my Walking Dead nightmare. It was interesting. And I wanted to go back. But right now, because my biggest Walking Dead nightmare is that they're yanking our chain too hard. You know what I mean, Henry? Like,
yes, I do.
You can yank it. That's a good thing. But there is such a thing as too much.
So you guys think that Glenn is not dead?
Oh, definitely not. Henry?
Yeah, I don't think he's dead either. But I mean, they have told us, or the producers have kind of dropped little hints here and there. Oh yeah, we're going to eventually reveal what happened to Glenn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to wait until March or February.
But to give them credit, I'm going to say that when you first watch the episode, cold, without any spoilers or knowledge or anything, you're like, oh yeah, that dude's dead. We thought he was dead. We were like, he's done. And then, but my roommate raised some questions, and I was like, yeah, whatever. No, he can't get out of that. And then going back, watching it again, doing some reading, watching that particular scene, you think about it and you go, no, he's alive. He's definitely alive. They just did a really good job of making him not look alive. And that's great. And hold that over people's heads for a week. All right. And then they got to 2 weeks with that. Okay. That's it. All right. You've reached your limit. Nope. They're still going. They're still going. And every episode is very like a microcosm. It's 2 people for that episode. Or one person for one episode. And it's not working anymore. There's enough time to give us glimpses of everybody in the group. And that's what we want now. Go ahead, Henry.
Well, here's the thing. Usually, when they kill somebody off on that show, they will have them on Talking Dead that night. They did not do that with Stephen Yeun. He was not on Talking Dead.
Nope.
So if he had been killed off, he would have been on Talking Dead. He was not on Talking Dead, so that's why I think he's still alive.
He was not in the In Memoriam. And the In Memoriam, Shane, I know you don't watch this, is for everybody, including like the crazy zombies that only appeared in that one episode that they give interesting names to.
Mm-hmm.
And where Glenn might have appeared, they just said, please don't let it be true, please don't let it be true. Please, in words on the screen. And it's, yeah. And yeah, Stephen Yeun would be on Twitter going, oh, so sad to watch myself die. Nothing. Not even the other cast members. Oh, the episode was so sad.
You know, if Glenn is not dead, they should have done that. Go to Twitter and say, hey, I'm sorry to see my character die and all that. And do the twist at the end of the season, and if he's not really dead, it'll be a shocker. I think they should have done that. But I don't. Like I said, I didn't watch The Walking Dead. I just heard on the internet.
See, I don't think that most people. I don't know how you feel about this, and I don't know statistics. So this is going to be one of those things that I hate to do, pulling facts out of my rear orifice because I believe this to be true. But do you think that most people don't? They watch the show, and that's the extent of it. They may chat about it with coworkers or something, but they don't get online and investigate.
They don't dig deep enough like we do.
But do you think that's the vast majority of people who watch any given show?
Probably. Some of them. They're not the TV
well, obviously,
nerds. They're not the TV nerds like we are.
Yeah, obviously there are people who will delve into this. If they're really invested in a show, they will try and avoid spoilers, obviously.
Yeah, but they want to know stuff. They do. They do. So I go to PT, and the Wednesday nights the receptionist is a girl that I worked with at my second summer job at the restaurant. So it's pretty awesome. And she brings her little dog, and it's so cute. And I'm on the upper arm bike, and I'm doing this. And it's right next to where her door is, and she pulls her chair over, and we're talking about The Walking Dead. And I'm telling her about, she's like, because I was the first one to tell her Glenn might not be dead, and she was like, what? Next time I saw her, she's like, I think you might be right. This week, I got to tell her about Negan, and she's like, who? And I'm like, don't you remember when Michonne and Rick and Glenn went to that garage and somebody was a baseball fan, memorabilia in glass frames, and Michonne gets herself a shirt, and Glenn gets himself a bat, a signed bat. That was not for no reason. Are you with me, Henry, on that? Do you remember that?
I think so, yes.
And I don't think he still has the bat. Maybe he does, I don't know. But that was not for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So Glenn is not dead now.
No, I don't think so.
But if it follows the comics, and that's the big if, baseball bats. Anyway.
Well, sometimes that's the thing. Sometimes it follows the comics, sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
Well, it's Gotham.
There are things that
Gotham is a good example as well.
Gotham deviates. Yeah. Gotham
you guys will have
from
to
the
tell
comic
me how
books
these
also.
things, line up. Like, you guys will have to tell me about Jessica Jones and what it lines up with and what it doesn't, because there's no way I'm finding out on my own. So.
I haven't even heard of Jessica Jones until they brought it up.
I didn't know it was about a comic thing until I put it on Netflix. I went, oh, okay. But she's interesting. I described her as kind of like a Jean, but unlike Apology Girl, she's an actual former superhero with PTSD over something that they're trying to reveal. And we saw some superpowers, I think, in the first episode.
I haven't watched it yet, so.
Yeah, but it's very, very understated. Like, she's not a superhero. She's a PI now. But, I mean, I can't say I don't like watching her. She's really good.
Oh, yeah, Kristen Ritter is fantastic.
And, yeah. That other show, that other show she was in for a while, the Bee in Apartment something?
Don't Trust to Be in Apartment.
Mm.
Yeah.
I tried that show because she was in it, and then I went, no. You know what else? Whatever that show was called, Betsy Brandt with Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox show.
And I love Betsy Brandt. No.
And I like Michael J. Fox, too. He's really good.
Yeah, I miss the Alex Keaton days. I always thought he was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the whole cast. My favorite was Meredith Baxter Birney. So, full disclosure. Yesterday was Gonzo's birthday.
It was.
Jesus Zion's
yes,
birthday.
it was. Yeah.
39 years old.
I wished him happy birthday. I wished him happy birthday on Facebook. Yes.
And he's running for president.
Yes, he is. So, yeah, he's 4 years
Yeah.
over the age you need to be.
Yeah.
And he's a spring freaking chicken. That's what I told him. He like that.
He is such a cool guy. He really is.
He is.
Yeah, like watching, there's all this political bantering and blah going on in the world, but he just is a genuinely kind human. I mean, he's got a good heart. Mm-hmm. I have to give him that. He's coming from a good place, and he cares about people. and he tries to be respectful, and I think he tries to get educated, and I kind of like having him around. And it's not, it's not because, I agree with him on such and such, but just the stuff where he connects with other human beings in his life that are going through a hard time, and there's a lot of selflessness to him. He does some, he tries to get involved and do things that help other people, not necessarily just him. We all have we all sit on our asses and just post online and whatever, but he does get out and around, and he is there for other people, and he sounds like a really good guy.
Well, we even had him on for the Breaking Bad cast, and he was excellent.
Oh, he had fun.
Yeah, he was great.
He had lots of stuff he wanted to tell us.
Yeah.
Biggest revelation being that he wasn't Gonzo, he was Nodos in the beginning.
That's right. He was Nodos.
And then he was the one that created the Heisenberg look.
That's right. He created the Heisenberg look.
Yeah.
Didn't he pick the hat?
I
think so. I think he said that.
Yeah.
He did. He did.
But yeah, so let's.
God, I'm gonna be in Better Call Saul.
I'm sure he will be.
Oh, I hope he'll be back on there. Oh, yeah.
So I take it we're not going to do this next week. It's Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
When we're going to do the X-Files? What day that's set for the X-Files, Henry?
December 12th.
December 12th. Okay, let's do the 5th.
So we're going to do December.
Cool.
December 5th is a Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Boiling points.
Bullet points, yeah.
Buoyant points.
Bullet points.
Bullet.
So 2 weeks.
Yep.
Okay. Sounds good. I can't wait for that. That's Skyler stuff. I can't wait.
It is. It's going to be great. So bullet points the 5th of December. And then the 12th, we'll be doing 5 episodes of the X-Files. Really good episodes.
I'm sorry.
Actually, 6, because remember, one of them's a 2-parter.
6 of them, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
I'm sorry, I can't do that with you guys.
Dreamland's a 2-parter.
You need to watch the X-Files, Alan. Binge watch that.
I did watch the X-Files. That's the thing. It's just like, I have these other shows right now. I can't.
Just rewatch.
I can't. I have to watch Fargo, Code Black, American Horror Story, Walking Dead, a few other things. I don't. Sorry.
Oh, Ellen, speaking of Walking Dead, John Carroll Lynch, who played, what was the character he played? The
Governor?
On Walking Dead? No. He was the guy who trained Morgan how to use the staff.
Yeah.
He was on American Horror Story.
Yes. Yep.
As Twisty the Clown.
And I didn't know that until afterwards. And, well, I think I'm going to have to... Twisty the Clown had a lot of clown makeup, so I didn't really see it. But, yeah, definitely different characters. Very, I like to see that. Give me some range. And being a psychotic clown and being this guy were two totally different things. And kudos to that actor. 1 episode of greatness. He won't be forgotten for that 1 episode, Good job. But, Shane, you need to watch Fargo. Trust me. I know how you...
First season.
I know how your tastes run, so I'm not just saying this. And I keep forgetting that Bob Odenkirk is in the first season. That's like just a little cherry, maybe. Not even a few sprinkles. Or what do you guys call them? Jimmies or sprinkles?
Sprinkles.
Thank God.
Jimmy, I don't know why they call them Jimmies. My God. Jimmy.
Brooklyn, New York, they're sprinkles. Okay, 300 miles up this way, Cape Cod, they're Jimmy's. Anyway, but the fact that we have Saul in it is not even the lore itself. The show is so good. And then, in case you didn't have enough Breaking Bad, this season, is Jesse Plemons.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
he's got a pretty major part in the Kirsten Dunst's husband. Major part in the show.
Mm-hmm.
I know your tastes.
Yeah, I know you do.
Will love this.
I probably will. I gotta check out the
Mark
first
Margolis. Mark Margolis, Tio, was on a couple of episodes of Gotham.
Oh yeah.
No. Mark Margolis. Oh, you're right. Sorry. He was on what?
He was on a couple of episodes of Gotham.
I got Henry hooked on Gotham.
I watched a couple of those, but I didn't. I have to hit the lottery. And I have to have some TV set up in a home gym.
Hey, Shane, I saw a picture of Ben McKenzie. He dressed up for Halloween last year. He actually dressed up as an older James Gordon. He had the gray hair, the little mustache, and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, Henry, do you have Netflix?
I don't have Netflix. I wish. I don't think I could afford it. I mean,
I
probably could, but that's not bad.
What?
And I guess it's unlimited.
Yeah, it's
unlimited content.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
$8 a month, maybe.
Yeah.
That's what I pay. $8 a month.
Yeah, I pay $8 a month too. You get a whole bunch of movies, a whole bunch of TV shows, all of that.
Yeah, and some of the some of the best shows out there are Netflix shows. There's
I'd like to look into that.
Kevin Spacey, House of Cards, Orange is the New Black. This new one with Jane, Kristen Ritter, Jessica Jones is Orange, and it's interesting to see what they do because the Orange is the New Black is going to come out with it. I think it's 4th season in June. And one day they will just dump the entire season on for viewing.
Netflix, yeah.
It's not like tune in next week to Netflix. It's not in real time stuff. So, boom, they put down the whole season. And some TV network just did that this year with
Aquarius with David Duchovny with NBC.
Was that the one?
Yeah.
They did the same thing. It's changing TV. It's like here's the whole season. Watch it as you can. But because I use I only have a few channels and I have HBO, but things like that are on every day, like The Tonight Show, Jimmy Fallon. Wait, there's Jimmy Fallon and Colbert, Late Show, Tonight Show, whatever. They take the episodes off so fast.
Yeah.
Fallon is Tonight Show, and Colbert is Late Show.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I just get confused. I only know that On Demand is set up so you're going to watch it really soon.
Yeah, it is.
You can't stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning to watch this stuff, but you want to catch up with it. And if it's 4 days later, you might be out of luck already for one. And it's what? Not that you're gonna find those shows on Netflix, Henry. I didn't mean to misrepresent, but no, Netflix would keep you really busy, happily busy.
Oh, I'm sure.
It will.
I know they have Bigfoot.
Yep.
I'm not mistaken.
I think so. They might do.
My guilty pleasure is the Hoarders shows, and I have exhausted my possibilities on Netflix. So I have to search all over the internet for videos, but
Yeah,
it inspires me to
there's
clean my house.
hoarders, and hoarding buried alive. Yeah, those are the two.
Isn't there like something like extreme hoarders?
There might be. And then there's animal hoarders.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
and also storage wars.
Ooh, I like storage wars.
They got storage wars. Miami now. They used to have storage wars Texas, storage wars New York.
Mm-hmm. No, a really good show. It's a cooking show, Cutthroat Kitchen.
I can't.
Oh, really?
I cannot deal with that stuff. I can't.
What?
I just can't. I just can't. I can't.
It's really funny and really good. Basically, these chefs, there's 4 chefs, and there's these sabotages that these chefs can bid on, and if they win in that, they can give a sabotage to the opposing chef. And one of the sabotages is like, a wok. They have to cook on that upside down.
Oh man!
What?
A wok.
Upside down wok?
Yeah. That's one of the sabotages.
It sounds like Guitar Hero. Broken string.
Check it out. Just check it out. It's really good.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Cutthroat Kitchen.
Okay. So, all right. Upside down wok. See what I got here? No, I can't. I don't really do reality TV. I think it's an oxymoron. I do. Because people act differently on camera than they would if they weren't.
Yep.
But that said, I'm a hypocrite to a certain degree, and I like the hoarder shows so much.
No
that
way.
Maybe a little addiction. My strange addiction.
Oh, that's great.
Usually people with some sort of pica. I eat baby powder. But
for some strange reason, I like those My 600-Pound Life shows and all that.
Oh, I get into those too.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I don't know why, but I like those shows. Like,
I don't know why I like those shows, but I can only think that I am genetically lucky. You know, it's like I'm not like, oh, I only eat low-fat vegetables and fruit. Yeah, I don't. I love a freaking double bacon cheeseburger like the next person.
Oh.
I do too.
And I do food sometimes as like comfort. And
ice cream and all that crap.
And the later it gets in the day, ooh, yeah.
I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to lose some weight right now, so yeah, it's a struggle.
And it's one of those things where when you're immediately into it, those first pounds come off like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
It's like the deeper and deeper you get into any kind of a project or endeavor, the harder things get. You know? Yeah. But there's tons of things. If you just want a snack, if you love eating, there are so many things that you could just stuff your face with all day long that wouldn't put on the pounds and would actually be good for you. And you just have to start liking those things. You know, but yeah, I would have great difficulty, Henry, so I give you kudos for your attempts because it's genetics. You and I could eat the same exact way and I got lucky. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
kudos.
Yeah.
You see, I eat a lot, and
I'm skinny.
I'm skinny. I eat.
I kind of balance. I have cravings. I'm like, okay, I'm at lunch at work. I'm deciding what I'm going to have. And well, tonight I'm having fish and rice and salad. So you know what? I'm going to have a cheeseburger. Or, I I'm having a healthy, I'm having a really fatty dinner tonight. I'm having freaking lasagna. All right, have a salad for lunch. It's like take turns. Bad, good, bad, good, bad, good.
Yeah.
But water is your friend, Henry. Don't drink that chemical stuff. Sorry. Water is so good. Get a little Brita filter pitcher. It is so good. It is so good.
Oh yeah.
I refill my water bottles with Brita filtered water. My cat now prefers Brita filtered water. And it is your best friend in every way. It really is.
I'm a West Virginia guy, and there's a mountain that water comes off of.
As I smoke a cigarette, sorry.
And that there's a mountain with water that's coming off of it, and there's a hose, and we go up there and get our own water, and it's really good. Mountain water, yeah.
Oh.
That's what I'm drinking right now.
That's really nice. But I decided, yeah.
Nice and fresh and clean, yeah.
Yeah, mountain water.
I live in a place where everything that goes into the ground is part of the groundwater immediately. Cape Cod is this little, spurt of land, and it's sand. It's a sandbar.
Mm-hmm.
So, the towns do their best. Actually, the town I live in has like one of the best drinking waters ever. But still, people are always a little creeped out about drinking water from the tap. So I'd buy like cases of bottled water because it's, bottled by some major company. It must be better. Anyway, when I saw my recycling pile and all the crap that I have to like drag off somewhere to recycle so that I can sleep at night, I was like, screw it. So I got the Brita filter. But it doesn't, a bottle this size, if you're really thirsty, you could suck that down in like 3 minutes at the most.
Yeah.
Need another one, do that 4 times a day, you're done. It's great. That has so much to do with Breaking Bad. I'm so glad I brought that up.
Yeah, because Walt, he was in the water manufacturing business.
Yes. Everything bad that ever happens to people involves water. Every person who drowned, it had to do with water.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep. They use it at nuclear power plants. It's bad stuff.
Yep.
They use water. Yep.
All right. On that note, let's end it. It's in this. So the 5th of December is going to be bullet points, and then we're going to do XCast, Henry and me. 6 episodes with Chuck in one of them. Michael McKean.
Really?
Oh yeah, Michael McKean. Yeah.
Did you already do Drive?
Yes, we did.
Oh, I hate you.
Yes, we did. Yeah,
that was like
I love that episode.
Shit.
Well, you want to discuss Drive real quick? Let's just discuss Drive. Come on, let's do it.
I haven't watched it in a while. Let's see. Bryan Cranston's character was a racist prick, and he was lovable somehow anyway and sympathetic, and it was really funny when Mulder had to stop for gas and didn't really have the time and couldn't pee. There's my view.
Henry, you got a view on Drive?
Just an excellent episode, and I love the way they shot it. I love the way that the story evolved. And at the beginning, there was a bit of a Breaking Bad thing also because of the live newscast.
Oh yeah.
Aspect.
Oh yeah, with the above view, like the helicopter view of the scene, right?
Yeah.
And then you saw the
very similar.
The wife's head explode right there.
You see the wife's head explode. That was great.
That was
Oh
sick.
man,
That was so sick you had to watch.
And then the twist at the end,
that's
when
just.
his head explodes.
I thought, and I
Uh,
always thought that Scully was gonna save him.
She was, but his head exploded
yeah,
before they got there.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean, though. I thought
yeah.
she was gonna do it, and you know, it's so funny though because that show. The one thing I really liked about it, although I think they messed with that toward the end. Like I said, I've never watched this whole thing,
I can tell
but
you if they did or not.
there was these two man and a woman, you know, young and beautiful and blah 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 blah
The new
blah.
characters. The new
But
ones. From
they
Patrick.
didn't throw in the whole sex thing. You know, they let the sexual tension just sit, which
Yeah.
was different.
Mhm.
It was like because most shows were going give people what they want, and this show was like nope. You know, let's put it to the side, just have it lingering there. But the other thing was every time something really was messed up and was not logical, she would eventually come around and see it for that case. But then the next week she was all back to skeptical again.
Well, we just discussed
Every
a really
week.
good episode, By the Sea. And this is a role reversal with Scully and Mulder.
Beyond the
Beyond
sea.
the Sea.
Yeah, it was.
And Scully was the one that was believing all this, and Mulder wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't remember the circumstances.
Basically, it was this serial killer that was played by Brad Dorff. He was able to see in the past, the present, and the future, and so they go to him and try to find these couple of people that was kidnapped, and he was able to help them find those people.
Mm-hmm.
That was basically the plot.
And what happened was Scully's father passed away.
Hmm.
The song that was used at the funeral was Beyond the Sea.
Mm-hmm.
And Brad Dourif's character was psychic, and he was actually singing the song as Scully was visiting him.
Mm-hmm.
So
you just need to
that
watch
was
it.
a really
that conjures up some vague recollections, but like I said, I think it was 2005, maybe.
You got to rewatch.
Now, the one thing that happened was that Scully had her parents over visiting for Christmas, and then they left. Mm-hmm. And she wakes up, she sees her father sitting in a chair, and then the phone rings. She answers the phone, and her mother tells her that her father passed away an hour ago. She had just seen her father sitting in a chair.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a paranormal episode, and that's when she started to believe.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I mean, not that I remember the episode, but the psychology of it makes sense. So. And someone was like, no, you're really emotional right now, blah, 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 right?
Yeah. Basically, that's what it said, yeah.
Yeah, and Mulder was not believing Brad Dourif's character. He was skeptical of him.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike Scully, Scully was seeking answers from this prisoner.
But we're going to discuss 2 episodes with Michael McKean. Raymond Cruz is going to be in one of them.
What?
Tuco.
Yeah, Tuco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out!
Yeah, he's on. Yeah, Tuco did an episode of the X-Files.
Like I said, Aaron Paul did an episode of the X-Files.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, can I tell you something really funny? I'm at work. I'm on the phone with a patient. The patient wants a referral to a doctor. I'm not hearing very well out of this ear. And Anyway, he says, and the way he does it, he says he needs a referral to Dr. Aaron Saul. It's Arenthal, okay? But he breaks it down. Arenthal. And right in front of my coworkers who are like slapping distance from me, I'm like, Dr. Aaron Paul? And hilarity ensues behind me, and I look like a bimbo, and the guy doesn't even know who I'm talking about, and when he said it again, oh, yeah, I know which doctor you're talking about. Okay, fine, but, you know, when you watch too much...
I was going to say...
Fine. I watch too much TV, that's all I was going to say about that.
I was going to say, Raymond Cruz is on a show called Major Crimes. Yeah. He was actually on The Closer, which Major Crimes is a spinoff of The Closer.
Mm-hmm. And that ended, too. So,
but Raymond Cruz stuck with that?
Yeah.
Because I gave up when Kira Sedgwick was done. It was about her.
Yeah, he's on Major Crimes. Yeah, he's on the spinoff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a TNT show? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my step parents. I think next week at Thanksgiving I'll hand them they're ready for season 3. Yay! They're gonna finish this. My stepmother was really interested in the whole Raymond Cruz thing because she did watch The Closer. And she sees Raymond Cruz as Tuco, and she was like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Well, according to Jesus Payan, who joined us, he's actually closer to Tuco, that actor, than he was to Detective Sanchez."
Mm-hmm.
And I told her about how Gonzo told us it was Raymond Cruz's idea.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So you're pushing. So you're a pusher too of Breaking Bad, there, Ellen.
Oh, I'm a pusher.
Oh, I'm pushing it. Oh yeah, I got these people on season 3, man.
I'm a pusher too.
They're hot.
One of the groups that I joined, somebody recommended. I was asking what kind of shows to watch on Netflix. I said Breaking Bad. Watch the first 3 episodes, you'll be hooked. They messaged me back and they said, I saw the first 3 episodes, I'm hooked.
Yay! You just made somebody's life better.
I did. I know I did.
This is a work of art. This is like, I'm sorry. It's like a very long movie.
Yeah.
It's It's like a great work of literature. It's a great work of visual art. It is a masterpiece. So congratulations. All right.
Yeah.
It's Shane pushed Breaking Bad on me, so Ellen's pushed it on her step parents.
Well, yeah, my dad, my stepmom, and they watched the whole first 2 episodes. My stepmom, she said she relates most to Jane, and she hates Walt for that whole Jane thing. And I told her, you gotta watch it again because he's really upset that he had to do that. And she's like, I didn't see that. Yeah. She has never. She's an interesting one because Walt never became sympathetic to her at all. She thought he was too passive, that he just let people walk on him. It had nothing to do with the lies, the disappearances, the meth cooking. It was before all that. She couldn't stand him. And she understands that he had to kill Crazy 8. But Jane, you can't forgive her. Him. She thinks that he didn't have to do that Jane was an awesome character, and it's interesting. So people come away with different views on this.
What about Skyler? Anybody are like you that loves Skyler?
I brought up the Skyler conversations with her, and she doesn't really get that into it. I I don't think she understands the extent of the hate that. Oh, and then I shared the editorial that Anna Gunn wrote. I have a character issue
Mm-hmm.
in the New York Times, and I said I scanned it carefully for spoilers, and my father was immediately like, "There are spoilers in that," and I was like, "What?" And I looked, and it said at some point that Skyler would become cooperative instead of fighting Walt on this. And I guess that's a spoiler. But the last thing they saw was her saying, "Get out! You're a liar! Money came from nowhere! Get out! Get
Mhm.
out! Get out!" Oh no! I'm sorry. All right, back up. What it said was that Skyler wasn't putting up with this.
Mhm.
She wanted Walt out. Okay, this is what makes more sense, and that's what he said. And I'm like, but yeah, she was kicking him out of the house, and she wanted a divorce. So what makes you think it is the same? It's not a spoiler. So I have to be careful. They have to get to the whole show so I can talk freely about it. That's all.
Mhm.
All right. You want to be in it? Say hi. Say bye.
All right, let's go ahead and end this. I think this is one of the
Yeah.
longest yet.
Yeah.
No, but yeah.
December 5th, episode 3. December 12th, X-Files. Have a
Wait a minute,
thanks.
episode 4, Shane.
Episode 4, yeah. And then the X-Files. Anyway, hope you have a great Thanksgiving.
You
Yeah.
guys too.
Have a great Thanksgiving. Eat a lot of food. Eat, and eat until you cannot eat no more.
Yeah, Henry, just let yourself have that day. Don't worry about it. You'll be good.
All right. Good night, everybody.